Hello, my name is Raymond Garchevsky, and I'm a living Christ. I want to talk to you today about logic. You see, logic is a system of thought, and all systems are mechanical. The system of thought that uses logic is called intellectualism. It is Satanism. Now, I'm introducing the word Satanist that to you doesn't match the definitions that you have been repeated and repeated into your mind until it becomes a habitual thought, belief. But Satanism is a fictional system, intellectual system. And you will never find truth through intellectual cogitation, thinking, inquiry. You will find the logical equivalent of truth, which is a belief. It's not truth. Truth is what is. It is holistic. It cannot be argued because it is what is. There's no opposition to it. And you see, the system of logic is the scientific method that is used by civilized man. It's flawed. I know logic is held as a godly way to come to the idea of truth, but the idea of truth is not truth. It is a representation of truth. The fictional truth. You understand that? You see, part of what goes on between you and I is that we do not communicate because I conflict with your conditioning, your intellectual conditioning, that which you have learned a lifetime by going to schools. It's all satanic. You see, you don't use the word Satanism in that way. You create an illusion and you call it Satanism. And if you find that you do not conform to all of the factors of that illusion, then you determine by logic that one is not a Satanist. And you argue. You see, logic is the means of arguing, of so-called intelligent academics, science, philosophers. You understand? It's all fiction. It's all illusion. It's not truth because it doesn't match the holistic aspect of what is. That can't be argued. The idea of it can be argued, but truth cannot be argued because it is grasped in the subconscious mind, the holistic mind, the mind of God. All of you whom I am speaking to are living in your intellectual mind. That's the satanic mind, the mind that operates on conditioning, by repetition, by belief systems, by memory. You understand? That's the mind of a dead man, because it's all based in the past, all based in the system of logic, the scientific system. It's all based in the thoughts of what just happened, you see. Life is in the moment of now. It is eternal. The next moment is the past. And that is the realm of the intellectual mind. That's the mind of the academic. It's the mind of your scientists, your philosophers, your judicial systems, your political systems, your religious systems. Understand? These are all systems of thought, and you must be conditioned to believe in them. And you must follow the rules that are set before you, and you must obey them. If you don't, you, in religious situation, you are expelled, excommunicated. In a political system, you have broken the law. But what law is it? It's the law of the system. Understand? It's based on intellectualism. It's based in satanic thought. It is satanic law, therefore. That's the law that you follow. In any nation, in this nation, the United States of America, it has its constitution. It has its laws. And those laws are all satanic because they are based in the systems of thought which are dead, memory-based, functional outlines. They are not God's law, but all come from God's law. God's law is simple. Do no harm, tell no lies. You notice that the very essence of those two items, are the fact that they are non-dualistic. There is nothing there to conform to. To tell no lies is to be truthful. To do no harm is to be godlike. Look at our world. Look at the world of mankind. Is it guided by God's law? Or is it full of harm, full of contradiction, full of violence, full of despair, full of people who don't understand who and what they are and their purpose for life? I come along and I tell you what it's all about. You are being tested until you come to the point where you transcend your satanic intellect and you abide by God's law. Do no harm, tell no lies. Can any of you do that for 24 hours? Can you do it for 24 seconds? Sure you can. You can meditate. But what happens when you meditate for 24 seconds? You stop the intellect. You stop the mind from operating with its concepts, its laws, its rules, its regulations. Do you understand that? That's what it's all about. It's telling you something, but you're ignoring it because you're lost in your consciousness based in dualism. And that's satanic. That's why you're conflicted. That's why you're confused. That's why you always argue. You find power in debate. There's no love there in power. There's force. There's coercion. There's government. There's religion. Look at all the things that those two institutions have done throughout the ages. The wars, the crusades, the torture. It's all based in duality. One must stop the dualistic mind and enter into the subconscious mind of non-duality. There one will find truth. That's my purpose. And I'm tired. I'm tired of speaking to you. When you understand nothing, when you aren't able to listen, when you must be debating with me at every step of the way with the words that I use, you have your own interpretation of them, and there is the conflict. There are the walls that are thrown up against the simple truth of living, of loving, of cooperating. You see, you are competitive. You have been trained to be competitive. And you honor those who are of the competitive spirit in sports. And intellectualism, the science community, it's all competition. The medals, the rewards, the little tin pieces of metals that are pinned on one to show how wonderful one is in the pursuit of excellence. And you must compete for that. War heroes compete. They are given medals of honor, medals of merit. For what? For killing another. Oh, unbalanced is that. Do you understand? You live in a bass-ackward world and you've got the rules to prove it. It's called law, man's law, Satan's law. You are the living, breathing, flesh and blood man and woman. You have created government, a fiction, and that fiction has created the fictional laws that they impose upon you while tricking you into admitting or consenting to be a person, a non-living entity, a corporation, through birth certification. That's the fraud. That's the fraud of government, which enslaves you, which takes away your status as a living, breathing, flesh and blood man or woman. And they create a dead person where they own that person. They can throw that person in jail. They can execute that person because he is not human. You understand how you have been tricked? You are a living, breathing, flesh and blood man or woman. Act like it. You have created government. It's going to fall apart. And they're going to drive persons to their deaths by the millions worldwide. That system of thought is called the Satanic system, the New World Order, which is the old world order with a new definition. That's my point. Break loose. How many of you are able to say that you are free and you are sovereign without being punished for it by the courts, which are fictional courts based on only your ideas and no other place? They have no power over the living. Their power is over the living dead, the person. Break that covenant. Withdraw your consent. Return to your status as a living man or a woman. Stop supporting government. Stop supporting religion, because they are satanic. And they have kept you in the satanic intellectual realm all of your lives. That's the real truth about your life. And I have just told you how you can change all that. And you'll break no laws. It requires no killing. It requires no bloodshed at all. All it requires is you to be truthful. And that can only be found in the subconscious mind and using the conscious intellect when you are communicating like I am with you at the present time. You see, I don't argue. When anyone wants to argue with me, I walk away. Because I have the truth, the life, and the way. That's the way of a Christ. And that is what I am talking and have been talking to you for 24 years, going on 25 now. And you haven't got it. Now, what I am saying is very simple. Stop. Stop the intellect. Most of you will find it almost impossible because you have grown accustomed to your intellect, to the violence, to the conflict, to the confusion. And you can't let it go. That's the known. When you end the known, one has died. Understand? The rebirth comes when one sees the truth in one's subconscious mind, the mind of God. And there one is free, sovereign, and able to live in love. That's my message for you today. Think about it. When I say think about it, you have no choice but to think about it. You understand? Because you're lost in your conscious intellect, which is the instrument of thought. In the subconscious mind, awareness, holistic awareness, holy awareness is what is manifest. In the conscious intellect, partial linear thinking, time-bound thinking is on the menu. You understand? You cannot nourish your spirit through intellectual thoughts. You can only bring destruction to you and all others whom you don't understand. That's my message for today. Thank you. Thank you for listening.